Hi, Original Research Group. I just wanted to go over a couple things to help you prepare for data collection as we wait for CPHS approval. So, first things first, when we think about data collection and preparing for this, we want to utilize our 7Ps. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. I'm sure you've heard of this when it comes to sports. When it comes to athletic training, making sure that you have everything in your kit ready to go before a game. Last thing you want to do is show up on the road with not enough tape, or you left the AED inside when you need something like that. So as we approach data collection, we kind of want to take the same idea of preparing before we actually start working with participants. First thing we want to consider is the environment we're going to be collecting data in. So whether you're doing interviews or some type of treatment intervention, you want to make sure that your environment is safe for your participant, that they'll feel comfortable in that environment, and that you've controlled for any extraneous variables that may appear during your actual data collection. So do your best to control for those outside things. I understand that most of you are going to be indoors, but even if you're collecting data in an office, be conscious about having a sign on your door that says, please do not interrupt. Those are the types of things that could really impede an interview. So just kind of be conscious of the environment that you're collecting data in and prepare it appropriately. Instrumentation, many of you don't necessarily have an instrument that needs to be calibrated, but you do want to consider the instrument that you're using and making sure that it's ready to go on the day of data collection. So if for some reason there is some type of calibration, or if you need an actual tool to write things down on, whether it be the LESS or even a data sheet to take notes during your interview, make sure that you have those prepared ahead of time. Which goes into kind of my next point. This is really for my quantitative researchers. Usually you want a data collection sheet. So what this will be is it's your hard copy of all of the data that you'll have. For any type of research, I encourage people to make sure you have a paper copy. Entering things right into your computer actually could pose a problem if for some reason your computer crashes, or if it's stolen, gets lost, whatever. Actually having those paper copies kind of protects you, and it also helps you out if there's a data entry error. You can go back and take a look at the actual data sheets that you used and make sure that you're accurate when you entered things into your Excel spreadsheet. So make sure you're kind of keeping track of those things. It can also help you when you're doing an interview if you jot down a couple notes about something that someone said and kind of the time during the interview, so that you can make sure go back and you can take a look at that quote. Paperwork. You're going to want all of your informed consents and demographic questionnaires printed ahead of time. Wait until you get CPHS approval in case you have to make any adjustments. But let's say you want to have 30 participants. You actually need to print 60 informed consents, because you need to make sure your participant has one and then you have a copy as well. Both should be signed. This allows your participant to always have access to your contact information. They know what the risks and benefits of the study are, and they know who to contact if they have any concerns. So I would recommend printing that ahead of time. Demographic questionnaire, typically you need equal to the number of participants that you have. They're not going to keep that piece of the information. And you also want to consider coding. How are you going to protect your participant's identity? Are you going to code the demographic questionnaire, and then that'll align with the data collection sheet? Just start thinking of that ahead of time so you make sure that you're protecting the information of your participants. Scheduling. This is usually the hardest thing, is finding time that both you and your participants are available. So I would recommend just kind of going through your schedule now, see what your availability is going to look like, see if in the next couple weeks you can start shaving some time so that you can dedicate a few hours, whether it be every day or maybe one day a week, to data collection, so that you make sure that you have enough time to complete this project. Staying organized. This is huge when you're doing an original research project. Some people like binders, some people like the hanging folder totes. I actually prefer the accordion folders. I like to label each section of the accordion folder so it's, you know, blank informed consents, completed informed consents, data collection sheets, and so on. And then it's all in one central location so that when I need to go do data collection, I can just pull out that accordion folder and I know it's all right there. So however you want to stay organized, I just recommend you start thinking about it and purchase whatever you need in order to make sure that you have all these things ready to go. As you set up your data collection sheet in your Excel spreadsheet, just make sure that all of your variables are going across the top. You don't want any of your variables or any of your data collection going along the side, like the first column. You want all of your variables across the top. I'll be able to give you some additional information as we get into the results section, but if you're one of those that's really looking to plan ahead and you want to start entering things into your computer, be conscious about keeping every variable across the top of each column, and then you work your way down as you enter in participant information. Make sure you have a great support team. You have some awesome advisors that you have already selected to help guide you through your research process. Use them. You've already talked to them. They're there to support you. So whether that be to vent, to ask questions about data collection, or just kind of needing advice, make sure you reach out to them. You also have some awesome classmates, so utilize the people that you've gone through this process with. And you have me and every other faculty member at LaSalle here to support you as well. So feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concerns that you might have. This is kind of harsh, but it's a quote that I like. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So I believe very much that we need to be proactive before data collection. You need to prepare, think ahead, and try to anticipate any road bumps or speed bumps that you might encounter. And then try to figure out ways that you could mitigate the risk of those speed bumps or ways to avoid them altogether. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Happy data collection. This is the best and most exciting part of the process.